All right, let's continue. This is Math 10C, Unit 2, Exponent Part 2. All right, so hopefully by now you are not confused by what's going on. And then when you do this exponent law, as long as you stick to the law, stick to the rule, and then just take your time and do it, and you'll be able to get the answer. All right. Sometimes the confusion comes because you can do it in different order. For example, look at this one. Okay. One way is to bring in the -2 to everything. Okay. Like 12, -2, x, -6, like powers on powers. You just multiply. And then this, the benefit of this is the negative, when you multiply them, cancel out. So you don't need to deal with that. And then -8 to the power of -2, and then like x power of 2 and y like -10, for example. And then you switch them around. Okay, that's one way. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, but I don't like that way. Okay, I like it this way. When the whole thing is negative, well, how about we take the reciprocal of the base, just swap everything around. Okay, without changing anything. By doing that, I'm reducing or changing my exponent to positive. Okay, so I just deal with this negative exponent now. The rest, I'm not doing anything. I'm just copying, and then by doing that, I change it to positive 2. Now I can square everything. Okay, I prefer it this way. I find it more clear. Okay, so whichever way you like, you can do it. Negative become positive. Okay, you deal with the sign first, and then the numbers, and then the variables. All right, now powers and powers. I'm not dealing with the negative. I'm just dealing with powers and powers. I'll just multiply it. Okay, just keep the -2 there for now. All right. All right, so it's become this. And then y -2. You can even like reduces the number first. Actually, that's better to make it smaller. All right, but now I can still do it. Okay, now you can swap them around. You can do it directly. -2, -6 is -8, so you know the final answer is x8 in the bottom because it's negative. Or you can just put them around, like move them around. Like for example, so let me reduce the number here. All right, divided by 16 will be 4. All right, divided by 16 will be 9. Okay, and here I move this to the bottom. Okay, I move this to the top. Do you see? This go to the top, this go to the bottom. That's where this from. Final answer, 4y12 over 9x6. Okay, so that's the new integral exponent. Okay, so if you think that's not enough, let's do more, which is rational exponent. What is the meaning of a to the power of m over n? Okay, don't confuse the one with the base, which is a rational number fraction. Now it's the exponent is a fraction. Okay, so if we observe, root a times root a is root a square. You square a square root is just a. And then you observe this one, a half times a half. Based on power rule, you add the exponent. Half plus half is 1. So which means it's just a. Both of them end up to be a. You multiply both of them end up to be a. What does it mean? Which means this is equal to that. Do you see the parallel? They both multiply to a, right? So these two things must be equal. So that's our rule. A to 1/2 is square root of a. Okay, so generally, a to 1 over n is n roots of a. And if you have an m here, that's just normal. That's just power of m. So you just put an m there. So that's our exponent law. Okay. So in the formula sheet I gave you, you will see that's the exponent law that usually you see here is we put it in here, right here. The same example on the side. Now I've added another row in the bottom, added one more row, which is I'm combining the negative exponent with the fractional. Okay, so what do you do with this? Okay, then you do it separately. There's two steps. Negative exponent mean reciprocal, so you switch the whole thing to the bottom and then change the exponent back to positive. And now you apply this part, you apply this rule here. Denominator becomes b root, and then a remain there. So that's the answer. Okay, so this become that. And then now combine everything. What if your base is a fraction, your exponent is a fraction, also negative? Okay, negative. Let's do with the negative first. Negative means you flip the base. Here we go. The exponent remain the same. Sometimes people confuse. They flip the exponent. We never have such thing. Now apply this to both terms, and there is the answer. Okay, so that should be very clear. Okay, so those are all the rule you need, and that's all for the rest of your exponent, like with exponent. Okay, now let's do the following. So how do we solve the following? And then here are the exercise for you to do. Some of you already did it. Very good. I mean like the previous homework. Now, let's evaluate the following. What does this mean? This means 64 to 12 2, and then take the cube root 3. Okay, denominator means the root. Now, this also means that if you square it, it's a very big number. You can also take the cube root first and then square. The order doesn't matter. In here, they have the same rank. You can bring it to the power, take the roots, or take the roots first and bring to the power. Okay, cube root of 64 is 4. 4 squared is the answer is 16. All right, so we'll do it that way. Now, when you have a negative, you do the same thing. You can take the cube root of a negative number. You can't take cube root of a you can't take a square root of a negative number, but you can take a cube root of a negative number. So I'll do the cube root first, which becomes a negative 4, and then square. The final answer is positive 16 as well. Okay, so for this one. Now in here, what do we do? Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Okay, it just means you have power on both numbers. It just means that. Okay, this is one of the rule we have. Okay, you just apply that power to both the denominator and the numerator. And then now you square root both of them and then cube it. Square root, because 2 means square root, and then you cube them. Okay, square root is a 3, 3, 3 is a 27. Square root of a 4 is a 2, 2, 3 is a 8. So that's the answer. Right? How about a very similar expression just with a negative? So the only thing is you just swap things around. Right? Change that to positive, and then you just swap it around. So the only difference is top and bottom. So my final answer, 8 over 27. Okay. All right, final two example. Okay, here. Okay, so what do we do? Well, we can turn it back to the fractional form. Okay, look at the first one. It means 5 over 3, right? Remember that? Right? Fractional exponent mean cube root, right? And then 3. So you can write like this. For this one, you can write like this. Why did we write it this way? Because now we see we can apply the power rule. We can now add the exponent, right? So become 6 over 3, which is a square. So we realize that's the answer, x squared. Okay. Wow, look at this. What do we do? Okay, same thing. Okay. Change it to a quarter. What happening here? Fourth root is a quarter. Okay, so we have such a rule. Like for example, a quarter is fourth root, right? So I'm just changing it backwards. So change that into a number. Why do we do that? Because now then we can apply our power rule. Well, basically you just get rid of the square root into exponent. Just make it easier. It's easier to see. Now powers on powers, you multiply them. Become 3, 8. Now powers on powers, you just multiply them. Okay, x 15 over 8, y 9 over 8. So that's one way to write it. Depends on the question. If they say write it without a radical sign, or you can put them all together with the 8 root. Depends on the question which way they prefer. Okay, so that will be the answer. All right, so try the following, all of them, and email me if you have any question. Enjoy your summer, enjoy math, and have fun. See you next time.